Welcome to the Sportsource Game of the Week Coaches Show. We've got all of your highlights, breakdown, and behind-the-scenes insight coming right your way. Sportsource starts now.
Welcome to Sportsource Friday Night Lights. I'm your host, Cooper Burke, joined by my analysts, Olivia Sayer and Alicia Hamilton. Habersham was firing on all cylinders tonight as they defeated Clarke Central by a score of 43-22. Olivia, what did you see in the first half there tonight?
Well, we saw a lot of scoring, and I think that's something all of us were joking a little bit before the game. We thought this was going to be a defensive-minded game, but both offenses came out hot. So let's look at the highlights. So Habersham is seeking its first 3-0 start in region play since 2007, and it would be opposed by Clarke Central, who is just looking for consecutive wins for the first time this year. Habersham muffs the opening kickoff, but look at this. This is Jay Feltus, who takes it all the way down the sideline for an 89-yard kickoff return touchdown. And what a way to start the game for Habersham right here on the road, and Feltus is fired up about that play. So Habersham jumps out to an early 7-0 lead, but Clarke Central starts driving down the field. This right here is LaGracian Little with the reception, and then they just start handing it off to Cy Valente, their star running back, who brings them within the red zone on this run. They give it to him again at the goal line, and eventually he punches it in from about the 1. Clarke Central would kick the extra point, but there was a penalty, so they go for 2, and Valente gives them an 8-7 lead. So Habersham back on offense attempts this deep shot to Tylen Davis, but the senior drops it. He can't haul it in. So they go back to Feltus, who gets the first down and a little bit more with this reception. They hand it off to Donnie Warren, who finds the end zone, and after the extra point, Habersham retakes the lead 14-8. Now Clarke Central back on offense, looking for a response after the handoff to Valente, takes a deep shot down the sideline, and look at this catch from Little again, who takes it into the end zone for a score. A little bit of dancing there after the score, and Clarke Central is right back on top, 15-14. Now Habersham back on offense, hands it off to Donnie Warren. They give Donnie Warren a bunch of touches in this game, including right here. But right at the goal line, quarterback Paris Wilbanks keeps it himself and runs it in for the score, and Habersham retakes the lead 21-15. After a couple of defensive stands, Clarke Central is right back on offense, handing the ball off to Valente. And then they take this shot right here to Troy Rucker, who hauls in a heck of a one-handed pass as Clarke Central's trying to capitalize, but they cannot as the field goal falls short right before half, and Habersham takes a 21-15 lead into halftime.
Thanks so much, Olivia. There really was a lot of high-octane offense, especially with Clarke Central's new quarterback, Hudson Walter, under center, and Habersham's dominant running game behind Donnie Warren. Alicia, how much of that did we see in the second half?
Yeah, Habersham really took away the second half. The halftime score was 21-15. They were just very dominant after the second half. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Back in the second half, Habersham wastes no time making a statement. Quarterback Paris Wilbanks hands it off to Donnie Warren, and Warren bulldozes his way into the end zone. That's the first Habersham touchdown of the half, and it sets the tone for what was to come. Next drive, Clarke Central's looking to respond, but Hudson Walter's pass is picked off. Sutton Porter jumps the route and snags the interception, a huge momentum swing in the favor of Habersham. And Habersham capitalizes again. Wilbanks gives it to Warren. He gets bottled up at first, but fights through the traffic and muscles his way into the end zone. Another Grady touchdown for Warren, his second of the half. Clarke Central trying to settle back in. Welter connects with LaGracian Little for the first down, a crisp route and a much-needed conversion to keep the chains moving. But there was no stopping Donnie Warren tonight. Wilbanks hands it off one more time, and Warren punches it in for his third touchdown of the half. He celebrates it in style, a dap and a quick dance with his teammates, and Habersham continues to pour it on. Clarke Central is still showing some fight. Sophomore running back Zion Phillips gets the call and picks up a first down on the ground. Tough running from the young back. But Habersham's defense holds strong. Phillips gets another carry, but Jackson Adams is right there to meet him. Great form tackle, no gain on the play. Welter tries to go to the air, finding Nathaniel Walls on a quick throw, but CJ Davis shuts it down immediately. Habersham flying to the ball on defense all night long. Still, Clarke Central kept fighting. Welter goes deep and finds Tristan Thompson, who spins off a defender and picks up a big first down, a spark for the offense late in the game. And they finish the drive. Welter connects with Troy Rucker for the touchdown, but it wouldn't be enough. Habersham closes it out with a 43-22 win over Clarke Central, extending their winning streak to 3 games and continue to roll into the back half of the season.
Yeah, Alicia, I think the interception and those crucial fourth down mistakes really took the wind out of the sails of Clarke Central. And as far as Habersham, running back Donnie Warren and Jay Feltis had a huge kickoff return to make it a dominant performance on the offensive side of the ball. Coming up, we'll hear from player of the game Donnie Warren and Habersham head coach Benji Harrison. Welcome back to Sportsource Friday Night Lights. We've got our main man Jack Little on the sideline with Habersham player of the game Donnie Warren. Jack, what do you have for us?
Yeah, Cooper, I'm with Donnie Warren. Donnie, another fantastic performance today. You guys get a huge win here over Clarke Central. You're 3-0 in the region for the first time since 2007. Man, how does that feel?
So it's a great feeling, just to get out here and do what I do with my guys. Feels good.
You guys knock off Clarke Central. You're on a collision course with Jackson County now. Of course, you got to go through Alcovy and Appalachia first. Then you'll get Jackson County on Halloween. What do you guys need to tune up heading into these next few games?
Man, really, we just got to keep working and keep doing what we do, and it'll all fall in place.
Man, you seem to get these huge holes. As your offensive line just creating these massive gaps for you, what do you have to say about those guys?
Man, I really appreciate them guys at the end of the day. Without them, I couldn't do it, so really appreciate them.
And for you, this season, a big year for you. What are your aspirations going forward?
Hopefully, just keep playing, make a good run in the playoffs, and go to the next level.
All right. Thanks, Donnie. I appreciate it. Back to you, Cooper.
Thanks, Jack. Alicia, what were your thoughts on that interview from Donnie Warren?
Yeah, Cooper. Donnie is a man of few words, but it's okay because his performance showed tonight. He had 3 touchdowns and he was very dominant in this game.
Absolutely, Alicia. Now Jack is back talking to Habersham head coach Benji Harrison. Jack, take it away.
Yeah, Cooper, I'm here with Coach Harrison after Habersham Central's big win over Clarke Central. Coach, it's feeling like 2007. You guys are 3-0 in the region for the first time in a long time. How's it feel?
Yeah, it feels good. I'm really proud of our guys. This team's worked hard. They're a really connected group. They enjoy playing the game. They enjoy playing it together. They root for each other. And to be 3-0, that was the goal. Our goal was to hopefully put ourselves in a position late in the year where we can compete for a region championship. And 3-0 is about as good as you can do right now. So I'm really proud of our guys. They've put the work in, and they played really well tonight.
Jay Feltis got you kicked off early with a long kickoff return touchdown, first play of the game. How'd that carry on through the rest of it?
Yeah, we talk about every week starting fast, trying to get off to a good start. You can't start off much faster than that. I thought Jay's an explosive player, had a really nice night on offense as well, but to start the game with that kind of play was huge. It just sets the momentum. Momentum is so big in high school, and if you can grab it early, it goes a long ways.
Yeah, and an absolutely monster performance by Donnie. Another huge game for him. What makes him so special?
Donnie's gotten better. Donnie is a great kid. Donnie has put the work in the offseason. Donnie was good last year, but he's a different player this year. I think he's dynamic this year. I think he understands what we're doing on offense more. I think he really understands the scheme of what we're doing. He's more patient, and when he sees grass, he goes to it pretty fast. He's just a hard worker. He leads by example. He's not a real talkative kid, but he speaks loudly on the field.
Yeah, I just spoke with him moments ago. Definitely not a super talkative guy, but he was great.
Oh,
no, he was really nice. I really enjoyed talking to him. So, Alcovy next week. What do you want to see improve in practice this week?
Yeah, just keep improving. That's why we go to practice each week. We want to get a little bit better, in the areas that we still are not. You're never going to be perfect. I tell our guys all the time, it's not a game of perfect, but we sure are going to try to get as close to it as we can. But it's just about us improving each week, working hard, preparing for the next game, and hopefully if we do that, the wins will keep stacking up.
Well, it's looking like it's going to be a collision course with your former school, Jackson County, for the region title. That game's on Halloween. Between now and then, what are the biggest things that you want to pick up from your group?
Yeah, it's just that, and I know it sounds like coach talk, but we have to improve. Jackson's having a really good season, but we set the goal for that game to be for all the marbles, but we know we've got 2 more games to get there, and I think that's so hard with high school kids. They want to start looking ahead. We can't look ahead. We got to get ready for Alcovy, and if we do what we're supposed to the next a couple of weeks, then that game will come to be what we hope it will be. But for us right now, it's the next 2 weeks just getting better and taking care of Alcovy next week at home.
Perfect. Thank you, Coach. Back to you, Cooper.
Thanks so much, Jack. After this big region win against Clarke Central, it looks like Habersham is headed for a clash against rivals Jackson County and Benji Harrison's former school. Olivia, what are your thoughts on that interview?
Well, it was clearly a very big win for Habersham tonight. We heard that in Coach's interview. 3-0 in region play, might be on that collision course with his former school, like you just mentioned, in Jackson County. And we could tell that it meant a lot to this team. In fact, as we were sitting here filming, they were walking out to walk in Yo Trap, take over Yo Trap. So definitely a night to remember for them. And Coach kept it very simple, saying they need to do better. They have some things they can improve upon, and I expect them to do that moving forward.
Absolutely. Coming up next, I caught up with Clarke Central head coach David Perno following the loss. Welcome back to Sportsource. I'm Cooper Burke here with Clarke Central head coach David Perno. Coach, you guys obviously didn't get the job done tonight, but it looked like you guys were moving the ball a lot better and performing much better than you have in the past couple of weeks.
Offensively, we did move the ball a little bit, but we got stuffed. We throw a pick in the end zone. We got stuffed on 2 4th and shorts. I mean, you got to convert those. Those were killers coming out the gate in the second half, and we talked about it. Probably should have done something else, but we just felt like we've been good inside, and defensively, I just think we're undermanned right now. I mean, we are so depleted. I mean, we probably, there were drives that last series we had 7 sophomores in there, and I mean it's hard. These are grown men here, and these are big boys, so we're just a little undermanned. We got to find a way to figure something out.
Yeah, you mentioned the offense has performed a lot better. How have you thought about your sophomore quarterback under center so far?
He's solid. He's been good. I mean, he missed a couple reads tonight, and I wasn't crazy about the pick in the end zone. That was that was a killer. And that turnover right there, and then we didn't get any takeaways tonight. So we're not doing the things we talk about. We got to win the ball. This team, for what we have and the lack of talent and experience we have to win the ball, and we have to win the kicking game, and we didn't do that either. We give up a kickoff return to start the game, so it's disappointing because we made some good strides, but then we seem to come backwards, and that's usually the case with a young team.
Of course, and you talk about moving backwards and making big mistakes in momentum. What did you say to your team about those crucial plays and kind of the errors that?
Well, we knew. I mean, I told them at the half. I mean, we have to come out and score, and I think that was the first 4th and short. I think that was 4th and 2. I thought we got a horrible spot, and that was disappointing. And then the other one, they didn't even measure, and it's extremely close. So it's. No, but we got to look at ourselves. I mean, we couldn't stop anything tonight. I mean, they were moving forward at will. We had them at one time 3rd and 24, and they ended up converting it on 4th down. So we made some 3rd down stops, but we didn't make any 4th down stops.
And last question: what did you tell the team in the huddle just there?
No, I just told them, we still got a chance to get in the playoffs, and we got to find a way to get some guys healthy, number one, but number two, some younger guys got to step up. It's going to be their time.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot, Coach.
All right, appreciate it.
When we come back, we'll hear from the analysts on their final thoughts on the game. Welcome back to Sportsource Friday Night Lights. Let's get this thing wrapped up. Olivia, what does Clarke Central have to look forward to in the final weeks of the season?
Well, Clarke Central is going to travel to Loganville next Friday, and there are some positives that it can take away from the game tonight. You look at what Welter did under center in just his 2nd start at quarterback for this team that's still developing. Valente had some really good runs as the team's primary tailback, so definitely some positives that it can take there. But the biggest thing that this Clarke Central team needs to improve upon moving forward is limiting those mistakes and errors. We saw it, we talked about it earlier, surrendering that kickoff return touchdown on the first play of the game. Had a couple of 4th down stops offensively that just wasn't its best football. Then a couple other things we saw throughout the game in terms of those errors. The missed field goal right before halftime really kind of just buried them, so it's definitely going to want to clean up on those moving forward.
Absolutely, Olivia. I did think their defensive line, especially Dream Freeman and company, had a good game. but the secondary remains an issue, and that's something David Perno has harped on all season. As far as Habersham, Alicia, what do they have going for them as they step into the final weeks of region play?
Habersham will be facing off Alcovey at home, having that home field advantage. So I feel like they just really need to carry this momentum from this game into this next game. They're going to be relying, I feel like they're really going to be relying on their run game, especially how we saw them using Donnie Warren in this game. So they're just looking to be undefeated in region play and carry this momentum on to the next game.
Absolutely. Jay Feltus was another big contributor. He had that kickoff return touchdown and several explosive plays in the passing game. So if Habersham can maintain that explosive offense, not just the running game, I think they'll have a great shot to stay undefeated in region play. This has been Sportsource Friday Night Lights. For your analysts, Olivia Sayer and Alicia Hamilton, I'm your host, Cooper Burke. Have a great night, everybody.